Hi, Stefano Molea here, San Diego criminal defense lawyer and partner at the law office of David P. Shapiro, where we help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. So we're in November. Bar results just came out. A lot of people are very excited to finally have finished this chapter of their lives and hopefully move on to a career in the law. The next step, obviously, after getting bar results is being sworn in, paying all the necessary fees, of course, and then becoming a licensed attorney that is permitted to practice law in the state of California. And so it made me kind of reflect upon my first year as a lawyer and wanted to share some experiences that hopefully will provide some comfort and some help to attorneys who are just starting off in their legal career. So first, understand that the panic that you will feel as a first-year attorney is normal. In fact, if you're not panicked, you should be worried about that because law school can teach you a lot, but once you're dealing with real people, real cases, real issues, real procedures, real courthouses, the minutia of how one courthouse allows filings versus another or the different procedures, it gets pretty deep pretty quickly. And when you start recognizing that, you thought you were a pretty smart person and yet here you feel lost constantly and you don't really see the big picture, understand that that's normal. And one tip that I have to sort of help mitigate that feeling is to have mentors, have people who have gone through it, have people who will normalize the feelings that you're having, and to provide that context to the issue you're dealing with and the perspective, so that you can sort of be directed and not be uncertain about what steps you're taking. So that's number one. The second thing I would say is early on, find yourself a system of being organized. Now in school, you've got journal, maybe you've got, some app that allows you to organize your classes and your to-do lists, etc. But once you start practicing law, there's going to be a myriad of issues that you're going to have to deal with, different categories of things. You're going to have, deadlines, your own deadlines for the court, your own deadlines, deadlines that superiors might give you if you're working at a firm. You may have a number of different tasks in different cases. Then you have court hearings that, of course, are going to be calendared, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So now you've got all these things that you're juggling. And if you don't find a system to keep yourself organized in the very beginning, as you start building up, then things start moving too fast. And if you're not prepared, you're not organized, things are going to start slipping through the cracks. And it's not a great way to start, right? So try to spend some time dedicated to finding a way to organize your cases, your life, your calendar, etc. that works for you. Now look, you're not going to always just use one method. It may evolve over time. One tip I have is ask the people around you, how do they do it? Do they use a yellow notepad? Do they use an electronic iPad, right? Do they use a paper calendar? Is it all online? What are the pros and the cons? How do they organize their tasks? So go through those and find different ways and then adopt whatever works for you. So first thing is understand that the panic is normal. Again, if you're not feeling panic, you might be a little bit too confident. You may want to make sure that you run everything by someone who's been through it, because you should feel panic, frankly. Doesn't matter what school you went to, doesn't matter what pedigree you have. There's going to be a lot of learning to be done that first year. And then finally, the second thing is obviously standardized. And the third thing I would say is understand that there is a difference between confidence and arrogance. So you can be confident in a position, right? But that confidence has to come from research, has to come from being extremely thorough. And once you present your position, make sure that it's confident and not arrogant. Make sure that your tone and the way you communicate with colleagues, with opposing counsel, with court staff, etc., is one where you are humble. And of course, you need to be assertive sometimes, but you want to make sure you do it in a differential way. At least that's my style, so that you can maintain the lines of communication open and that it can be a productive conversation. And so just don't overdo it. Don't overcompensate for sort of a lack of confidence by overdoing it with the way that you act in court or the way that you act with colleagues. Hope that this information is somewhat helpful. Hopefully some of you may be able to relate to this. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments or even reach out to me. I'm always happy to talk to new lawyers, people entering the profession. Again, Stefano Molea, I'm a partner here at the law office of David P. Shapiro. Our phone number is 619-295-3555.